when I lose my way and I forget my name.
Hi, it's good to have you once again with us at Holistic Self-Care Lifestyle, an inspirational telecast. As you already know, the theme we are tackling this period is rediscovering yourself. And we are going to the third topic in the series. And this topic is titled Inherent Attributes. As we saw in our last topic, we see that God created all things and for a purpose. We also looked at the mission, the threefold mission for which we are created. And so from that, we are going to the inherent attributes. Under inherent attributes, we see that God created us. He did not just dump us, but He equipped us. So we have looked at the other equipments, how we are made, our structure and our functionalities. This time around, we are looking at the attributes, which are not so obvious like the rest, okay? And we call them inherent. Now, under these inherent attributes, we'll be looking at just a few of them. One is temperament, the other one, talent, purpose, and a few others. Okay, now this inherent attribute, as I said earlier, is part of the equipment. You know, it's like sending someone to farm, and without hoe, without shovel, without all the things that he needs to work with. So God sending us to this world, He sent us well equipped. And one of the things that He gave us to work with is temperament. What is temperament? Temperament is the natural disposition that you have, that I have. We come with it. We are born with it. It is the manner in which you react to stimuli. It is the manner in which you act. They are not in your hands. You are born with them. Okay? And, you know, researchers have researched and they've been able to distinguish 4 primary temperaments, which are choleric, sanguine, phlegmatic, and melancholy. Now, these temperaments, they are categorized. There is the primary temperament, there is the secondary temperament. Your primary temperament is the most domineering. And this temperament, they have and they work in degrees. They have different classes and they operate in different degrees. Somehow, we all have a trace of all the temperaments, all the 4 temperaments, but one must be your primary temperament. So, for instance, if you are a choleric, you will have a little bit of melancholy, you have a little bit of phlegmatic, you have a little bit of sanguine. So, but the dominant one, which is more pronounced, stronger than the others, will be your temperament. So now let's look at the descriptions, you know, of these 4 temperaments. We start with choleric. Choleric dominates everyone, everywhere, anywhere, anytime. without caring about your feelings, without caring whether you want to follow him or her or not. He wants to dominate. In fact, that is his driving force. Anywhere he is, he takes control. He's in absolute control, or the event wouldn't happen. That's a choleric for you. He feels everything and everybody should, be subjected to his command. So if you have this trait, it might be a guide, it might be a sign to you that you are a choleric. Then there's also the third one, which is visionary. The choleric is very, very visionary. He doesn't lack ideas. He has something to do. He has a vision, he has an idea, he has a target that must be met. So he is driven by vision. He is driven by ideas, and he is goal-oriented. In fact, in pursuing his vision, no stories are allowed. What he wants to hear is result. Okay? So the other trait is a relationship. He is very poor. The choleric finds it very difficult to keep relationship because he wants to dominate. He wants to be in charge. And in relationships, one person is supposed to dominate. Relationship is give and take. So because of that, a choleric is very, very poor in, first of all, establishing a relationship and maintaining it. So they have very few friends. Most of the crowd around them are the people that they must command, who must do their will, who must respond to their whims and caprices. In terms of emotion, he's strong in emotion. In fact, his strongest emotion is anger. Anger, yes. The choleric gets angry very easily. He is very pushful, and he pushes people to do his will. And when people are not responding, he gets angry. And that is a very, very strong weakness on his part. These are just a few traits of the choleric. We move to sanguine. The sanguine is someone who is, also very extroverted. Yes, the sanguine is, he likes activities. He likes activities. He's a fun-loving person. He is very playful. He or she, it can be he or she, okay? He's very playful. He loves entertainment. In fact, most of the people in the entertainment business are sanguines. They are fun-loving people. They smile a lot. They talk a lot. They are easygoing. It's very easy to get along with them. Secondly, they are naturally people-oriented. Sanguines love people. So I believe, even as you're listening, assuming you don't know your character traits already, or you don't know your temperament yet, reflecting on what you're hearing and reflecting on your life, it should also be a guide to you to discover what your temperament is. Later, we'll look at why you must know your temperament, but let's complete the character traits of the sanguine. As I said earlier, he is naturally people-oriented. They love people around them, the sanguines. Without people, they want to die. In fact, they are allergic to loneliness. They get along with people easily. They talk, they express themselves, and for that to happen, they must have people around them. So they cannot do without people. They are people-oriented. They do everything to have people around them. And they get involved in conversations easily. In fact, they initiate conversations easily, and they're able to maintain it because they are very talkative. They can talk and talk and talk and talk, without caring whether you're even listening. Okay, so sanguines are like that. Okay, their lives, they live a very active life. Their life is on the go. In terms of relationship, the sanguines, they make they make friends easily. And, they maintain relationships. They keep a lot of friends. They keep a lot of people around them. They are very expressive in their affection. They are very affectionate, and they express themselves. If they like what you're wearing, you're looking lovely. Oh, this looks gorgeous on you. The sanguine doesn't have a problem expressing himself. And if you are knowing him, he expresses himself, will you get lost? And, they are like that. I mentioned earlier they are socialites. They like parties, they like occasions, they like, going out, and they dislike solitude. Okay? Now, the problem with sanguines is that they have a very, very short attention span. They get along with people, but they forget easily. I believe one of the reasons why they forget easily is, because their life is very, very expressive. They are very, very affective. And a sanguine, if he thinks it, he says it. If he feels it, he expresses it. So if he finds something new, he shares it. So his life is more of outside. So he doesn't have time to store anything, and he's on the go. Okay? And in terms of emotion, the sanguines, they possess a very wide range of emotions. Okay? They possess a very, very wide range. And that also helps to make them versatile. And it makes them, because they possess a very wide range of emotion, they have also a very wide range of behaviors. Okay? And, they are very versatile. They can fit in any place, in any field of endeavor, in any career they choose, they excel in it. So these are the traits of sanguines. There's also the other temperament, which is phlegmatic. The phlegmatics are introverts, okay? They are calm, unemotional, easygoing people. They get along with people easily, and they're very patient and agreeable. It's very easy to get along with a phlegmatic. Naturally, they are service-oriented. A phlegmatic comes here, a phlegmatic wants to serve everybody. A phlegmatic, they are very, very supportive. In teamwork, they are very, very good. You can count on a phlegmatic because a phlegmatic will do his or her work very well. They are very consistent. very persistent, and they love to follow. They don't like to lead. They love to follow others. Okay? In relationship, they also make good relationships. They maintain good relationships. They are very possessive in relationship. If you are a friend to a phlegmatic, she will own you, possess you, and make sure that you don't part. Okay. If your wife or husband is a phlegmatic, they will so possess you, even in this time of, when everybody is divorcing. A phlegmatic finds it very difficult to divorce. They hang on, they are very, it's very great to relate with them. They take their relationship seriously, and they accommodate, they tolerate, and they do everything, even at their own cost, to their own detriment, to maintain that relationship. So, if you want to marry, pray to God to give you a phlegmatic. Okay? Now, the problem phlegmatics have, is that they are very, very resistant to change. Because of that, and also, remember, they are passive in nature. They don't lead, they are passive. So they are very resistant to change. They want everything to remain the way they are. And so it makes them shy away from taking decisions. Even when they should take decisions to change situations, they will rather stay with it than change it. In fact, they don't change. They don't agree to change until circumstances force them to. So this is a trait of a phlegmatic. And then they are very, very loyal as friends, as teammates, as a staff. In whatever partnership or relationship you enter into with a phlegmatic, you can be sure of loyalty. Okay, these are the few traits that we can talk about under phlegmatic. Then we take the last, which is melancholy. The melancholies are very, very introverted. They don't express themselves. They are, they are stuck within themselves. They are complete in themselves. A melancholy bottles up emotions. A melancholy finds it difficult to establish relationship, to relate with others, Even when the relationship is going on, they're rather, enclosed within themselves than express their emotions. Another thing about melancholies is that they are perfectionists. A melancholy wants everything to be perfect. He does everything right. He wants people to do things right. He targets impeccability. And when any dent is found anywhere, a melancholist does not find it funny. Okay? So they work towards perfectionism. They work towards perfection. In everything, even their view of life is a perfectionist view. Okay? Then they are also extremely creative. Most of the renowned geniuses that we have in the world are melancholists. even presently. Any melancholist is extremely gifted, extremely creative, extremely talented, and they target perfection in whatever they do, in whatever field. Okay? And in terms of organization, a melancholist is, as said earlier, a perfectionist. If you come to the house of a melancholist, everything has its place, neatly, positioned, neatly arranged. If you see a melancholist, a melancholy on the street, he dresses perfectly. And in relationships too, they want perfection in everything. In relationship, I said earlier, they cannot establish, it's very difficult for them. They are very slow in establishing relationships. But once it is established, they hold tight to it. So in conclusion, as I said earlier, God did not just drop us into this world to float around. He equipped us. And one of the equipments, one of the things he gave us to function with, as said earlier, is temperament. So we have discussed 4 of them. You need to discover yours. You need to find out your temperament so you'll be able to understand yourself better. When you know your temperament, you know how to manage yourself. You'll also be able to know how to relate with others. Ultimately, the temperament that God has given you is supposed to work together to help you achieve your purpose on earth. So it's important to discover it and work with it. With that, we come to the end of this episode. We would like to hear your thoughts. Leave us a comment. Till we meet in our next episode, take care of yourself.